Hey everyone, welcome back to Fluent English Power, the podcast where we make English conversation simple and fun. I'm your host, Rahul, and today we're tackling a topic that many of you have asked about: how to talk to someone new for the very first time. It's a common fear, right? What do I say? What if they don't understand me? Well, don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll feel much more confident. The fear factor. Why is it so hard? Rahul, let's be honest. Talking to someone new can feel pretty scary. You might worry about your English, about making mistakes, or even just what to talk about. Maybe you think, what if they don't want to talk to me? Or, what if I sound silly? These are all normal thoughts. Everyone feels a bit nervous sometimes, even native speakers. But here's a secret. Most people are actually quite happy when someone friendly approaches them. Think about it. When someone smiles and says hello to you, how do you feel? Usually you feel good, right? You feel acknowledged. So, the first step is to change your thinking. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, think about what could go right. Maybe a new friend, a helpful piece of information, or just a pleasant chat. Step 1. Look around you. The power of observation. Rahul. Okay, so we've got a positive mindset. Now, what's the actual first thing to do? Don't just walk up and say hello randomly. That can feel a bit sudden. Instead, use the power of observation. Look around you. What's happening in your environment? What do you have in common with the person you want to talk to? Let me give you an example. I was at a coffee shop recently. I saw someone struggling to open one of those small sugar packets. It looked really frustrating. So, my opening line was simple. Need a hand with that? Those things can be surprisingly tricky. He laughed and thanked me. We shared a little moment of frustration, and that was enough to start. Or maybe you're at a bus stop and someone is looking at their phone, confused. You could say, "Is the bus running late today?" "Mine usually is." See? You're using something happening around you to start a conversation. It's about finding a natural in. Your opening line doesn't have to be perfect or brilliant. It just needs to be a door opener. A simple statement or question that invites a response. Step 2. Keep it going. Ask open-ended questions. Rahul. So, you've opened the door. What next? This is where many conversations stop. You get a yes or no answer, and then silence. The key here is to use follow-up questions, and specifically, open-ended questions. What's the difference? A closed-ended question can be answered with just yes or no. For example, is this your first time here? The conversation could end right there. An open-ended question asks for more detail. Like, what brought you to this event today? Or, what do you think of this coffee shop? These questions encourage the other person to share more about themselves. They give you more to talk about. Let's go back to my coffee shop example. After he thanked me for the sugar packet, I could have asked, "Do you come here often?" If he said yes, that's fine. But if I asked, "What do you like most about this coffee shop?" That's open-ended. It gives him space to tell me about his favorite coffee, the quiet atmosphere, or why he chooses that place. The goal is to show genuine curiosity. People usually enjoy talking about themselves, within limits, of course. When you show real interest, they're more likely to talk to you. Step 3. Listen actively and find connections. Rahul. Once they start talking, your job isn't over. This is where active listening comes in. It means really paying attention to what they're saying, not just waiting for your turn to speak. Listen to their words, their tone, even their body language, and then respond in a way that shows you've been listening. A simple nod or a verbal, "Oh, really?" or "That's interesting," works wonders. This is also how you find common ground. Let's say the person at the coffee shop says, "I really like this place because it's quiet and I can get some work done." If you also like quiet places to work, you can say, "Me too. I find it so hard to concentrate at home sometimes. What kind of work do you do?" Even if you don't have a direct connection, you can still ask more questions to learn more. For example, what is it about a quiet atmosphere that helps you focus? This shows you're engaged and interested in their perspective. It's about building a bridge between you two. Step 4. Share a little bit about yourself. Rahul. Conversation is a two-way street. After you've asked a few questions and shown interest, it's good to share a little about yourself, especially if they ask you something back. Think of it as a reciprocal dance. If they ask, "What are you working on?" you can say, "Oh, I'm just catching up on some emails before I head to my next meeting." Or, "I'm actually just reading this book. It's really good." And if they don't ask, but you feel like you've been asking a lot of questions, you can offer a little information. For example, after they've answered a question, you could say, "That reminds me of something similar that happened to me," and then share a brief relevant story. The key word here is brief. Don't tell your whole life story. Just enough to keep the conversation flowing and show that you're also willing to open up a little. Step 5. End gracefully. Rahul. Not every conversation will turn into a lifelong friendship, and that's perfectly okay. It's important to know when to exit gracefully. Look for natural pauses or shifts in the conversation. You can say something simple like, "Well, it was really nice talking to you. Name, if you caught it." Or, "I should probably get going now, but it was lovely chatting." It's polite and clear. No need for a big, dramatic exit. If you genuinely enjoyed the chat and want to continue it sometime, you can suggest it. "It was great talking to you. Maybe I'll see you around here again." Or, if it feels right, "Do you come to this park often?" These are gentle ways to leave the door open for another conversation. My own story. Breaking the ice at the train station. Rahul. Let me tell you about a time these steps really worked for me. This happened a few years ago. I was at a train station, waiting for my train, feeling a bit bored. There was an older gentleman sitting on the bench next to me, looking at a map. He was clearly struggling to fold it back up. Observation. I saw his struggle, so I said, "Maps are getting harder to fold these days, aren't they?" He chuckled and said, "Tell me about it. My eyesight isn't what it used to be." Follow-up question. I then asked, "Are you traveling far?" He said he was going to visit his grandkids. Then I asked, "Oh, that's lovely. Do you visit them often?" And he started telling me all about his grandkids, where they lived, and how much he loved seeing them. I was actively listening, nodding, and saying things like, "That's wonderful." Reciprocal dance. After a few minutes, he asked me, "And what about you? Where are you off to?" I told him I was going to a friend's wedding. We ended up chatting for about 15 minutes until our trains arrived. It was such a pleasant interaction, and it completely changed my mood. It wasn't a deep conversation, but it was a warm, friendly connection, all from a simple opening about a map. This story shows that you don't need perfect English or complex ideas. You just need to be friendly, observant, and willing to take that first step. Tips for English learners: embrace the imperfect. Rahul. For all of you listening who are learning English, here are a few specific tips to help you. Start small. Don't aim for a deep discussion on your first try. Aim for a 30-second interaction, then a minute, and build from there. Short and sweet is perfectly fine. Focus on understanding, not perfection. Don't worry too much about making grammar mistakes or having a perfect accent. Most people are very understanding and appreciate your effort. They care more about connecting with you than judging your English. Use simple language. Stick to words and phrases you're comfortable with. You don't need a huge vocabulary to have a good conversation. Practice common phrases. Have a few ready in your mind. Excuse me, do you mind if I ask? That's interesting. Tell me more about that. Oh, really? I didn't know that. It was nice talking to you. Listen more than you speak, at first. This takes pressure off you to constantly think of things to say, and it gives you more information to respond to. Don't be afraid of silence. A short pause is natural in any conversation. It gives both people time to think. You don't have to fill every second with words. Smile. A genuine smile is understood everywhere and makes you look friendly and approachable. Remember, every conversation is a chance to learn. Think of it as a low-risk experiment. The worst that can happen is they say they're busy, or the conversation ends quickly. And that's absolutely fine. You tried. And that's what truly matters. The confidence factor. It grows with practice. Rahul. The more you practice talking to new people, the easier it becomes. Confidence in conversation is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first time you approach someone new, your heart might beat fast. The 10th time, it'll feel a bit more natural. The 100th time, it will feel like second nature. And of course, the more you practice speaking English, the faster your fluency will improve. So, my challenge to you, my amazing listeners, is to take one small step this week. Find one situation where you can start a brief conversation with someone new. It could be at the grocery store, at a bus stop, in a cafe, anywhere. Don't worry about it being perfect. Just aim to make a connection. Just aim for that first hello. And if you try it, I'd absolutely love to hear about it. Share your stories with us on social media using Speak Easy Podcast. This has been a great chat, and I hope it helps you feel more ready to connect with new people. Remember, every person you meet knows something you don't. And every conversation is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to connect. Rahul, that's all for this episode of Speak Easy. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep connecting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends. And yes, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on fun and useful English learning videos. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy learning!